What is going on, folks? Welcome to this conversation. My name's Brando Linick. Hey there. And I want to be very direct because I want to speak to a specific audience here. Those of you who are looking to start a business, those of you who are looking to become a business owner, whether maybe that's to quit your job, maybe whether that's to be able to do the things that you want to do when you want to do it. If that's the case, this video is for you because I'm going to do a little bit of a review on just some of my personal experiences, having gotten around a lot of people in different businesses, some successful businesses, some not successful businesses, like clothing retail outlets, powder coating businesses. And when I say powder coating businesses, like ones where you can actually operate in your garage and you're painting and coating metal, all right, whether that's for a car part, whether that's for a bicycle, it could be for anything. I'm going to talk about just some of my experiences with this. And one of the key fundamentals that I've come around and seen in common with all these successful people versus people who have started these different types of businesses and they haven't been so successful. And I'll tell you the fine difference between the two, the factor that separates them is people who started, powder coating businesses and people who started retail clothing businesses and, different types of businesses out there. The ones who created a lot of success were the ones that actually mapped out a proper game plan, meaning that they looked at it, they knew their upfront overhead, they knew the work required, they knew what it was going to take to get customers and clients and maintain that on a daily, weekly, monthly basis and yearly basis. That was really their determining factor. And people who didn't, they kind of started because it was their hobby or their passion. And I'm telling you right now, everyone has passions, all right? Everyone's got a passion and a hobby to play sports, but not everyone becomes a professional athlete. Everyone's got a passion and hobby to do certain things, but at the end of the day, everyone is getting started in business to make margins. And if you're not in business to make margins, all right, you're in it to just have a passion. You could have a passion, but you could only be making with your business $100 or $500 a month. So I hope that makes sense. And that was one of the very fine distinctions between people who were successful that I had gotten around who started powder coating businesses and retail businesses versus people who were, not that successful, is people looked at it from a business perspective of how they're going to make margins, all right, and how they're actually going to get a return on their investment and keep it coming day after day, week after week, month after month. So that's just the fine distinction between the two. So I figured I would kind of just cover that in a nutshell to give you an idea. But when it comes down to business, the best tip I would give you from a business to business perspective here, if you're looking at starting any type of business, whether that's a powder coating business, a retail business, or something else. I know the title of this video is a powder coating business, all right, and this is a review on the business model, not necessarily talking about the how-to, talking about the principles required for it, where you're dealing with supplies, equipment, and employees, okay, but with a powder coating business, in a sense, you can start it out of your garage with the powder coating gun, and then it can be as simple as, spraying people's car parts, painting people's bikes, all right, coating it down, and then you could sell it, all right, and you can put ads up there on Craigslist, you can put ads up on, Amazon of the car parts that you've done, and then you could resell it, okay, and that in essence is kind of how you could get it started. But I will tell you this, from a business perspective, back to what I was originally trying to get at, if you're looking at this only because you want to build a business, only because, all right, you want to build a business to create time freedom, leverage, flexibility, if that is what you're looking for, then I would advise you before you deal with the chemicals and, the equipment and supplies that you need with a powder coating business or a retail store business, before you head down that path and deal with that overhead, all right, before you deal with it, which is not just overhead investment-wise, but it's overhead time-wise, you got to put your time into maintaining it. Before you head down that path, I've got a lead I want to throw your way if you're only looking at this because you want to be your own boss, create an income, time freedom, and flexibility, all right? If you're not looking for that, the rest of this video is going to be not useful for you. But if you're looking at it for specifically that, then my story with this goes back about a year ago when I had transitioned from the form of a powder coating business. I actually walked away from a business just like it where I was dealing with supplies, equipment, chemicals, and, maintaining that on a daily, weekly basis. And I was actually doing it from home too. And I came across a person who was building a business from home, but they weren't dealing with chemicals. They weren't dealing with inhaling chemicals all day long and painting and coating things. And they weren't dealing with supplies and equipment. They were dealing with digital products and services through the internet, all right, that they didn't create. They didn't have to create these digital products and services. And because they were digital online, they weren't dealing with shipping and handling or inventory, all right, and they're making a high multiple six-figure income. All right, and they're doing that in their second year in business, traveling around the world, building their business at the same time. And because they were doing this so strategically, Alright, not telling you that the results are typical or average. I mean, by all means, this person worked their butt off, and because of that, it was attractive to me. Alright, I had already worked in previous businesses. I knew there was work required. I knew you had to learn something, so I started to model and copy them. In less than 90 days, created a full-time income business for myself, working part-time on the internet. Haven't looked back since, and I share that with you because if you're watching this video right now and you want to build a business to be your own boss, create leverage, time freedom, to do what you're passionate about, whether that's to travel to Africa, whether it's to move your family out of your current home into a bigger, better home, if that's the case, learn to build a leveraged business that has higher profit margins and less overhead, alright, that you got to take on. That way, you can do what you want when you want, alright? And the internet is the best tool and modality you could tap into to leverage that. And you can use the internet to do the heavy lifting for you, where you don't have to deal with supplies, equipment, employees, inventory, shipping and handling, with the right guidance and help. I want to emphasize that, because without the right guidance and help, you could be going through different programs and businesses and beating your head against the wall. But it wasn't until I connected with someone who was willing to connect with me that I had a breakthrough. So I would suggest you do the same. So hope you enjoyed this video, this rambly video that I put together for you, as much as I did put it together for you. And if you do want to learn a little bit more information about how to build a business on the internet, if you're coachable, trainable, willing to learn some things, alright, to get the results that you want, and you want to learn how to do this online, then connect with me on my site after. It's 123marketingtips.com. The link will be in the description, and I'll see you on the beach of the world. Take care.